Hello folks, welcome to the Poly Champions YouTube. A patch for Polytopia was released on March 13th, 2024. We will do a quick rundown of changes including buffs to market and bridges, and nerfs to bombers and lighthouses. Okay, let's go through the most recent changes to the game. Here is the complete list of all the changes in the patch. These are also listed in the description with a link to the changelog. First and foremost, now lighthouses always start covered in fog, even if it's within your capital borders. For corner spawns, you will need to move a unit to uncover the fog in order to get the population reward from the lighthouse. Other maps where corner spawns are more common and villages are scarce. Players that spawn in a corner with a T0 tribe like Imperius or Barter can still get a workshop and a second warrior on the first turn, but it means moving that first warrior into the corner. So having a corner spawn is still a slight advantage, but players will have to work a little to get that lighthouse population. Next, let's look at the tech tree changes. Fishing is now a first tier tech, so Kiku starts the game with the ability to make ports and harvest fish. This is a big boost to cities that spawn on the coast. Now a player doesn't have to choose between investing in a land tech like organization or hunting before getting on the water. Cities on the coast can choose the sailing tech, harvest fish, upgrade that city right away, and still plan on getting a navy. This also speeds up the pace of the game on water maps. Another tech tree change is that the burn forest ability is now part of the construction tech in the farming branch, and destroy is now in the chivalry tech. This tech swap boosts the farm tech branch and Zibasi in particular. Zibasi rarely uses forestry for lumber huts. It's not an efficient tech choice for that tribe. So burning the forest to turn it into farmland makes sense for Zibasi. However, burning a forest to get a farm is still a pretty expensive way to get 2 population, right? It costs 5 stars to burn the forest, then 5 more stars for the farm. However, in late game turns, when you have a lot of income and need to squeeze every bit of population you can from a tile, burning a forest, placing a farm, and maybe even a windmill too, can maximize the amount of population you can get from a single tile. The last tech tree change is that aqua crops and aqua farms have been removed from the game. The technology is still called aquaculture, but now it only gives you the ability to make rammers. This tech tree change indirectly nerfs rammers. While rammers are still very powerful units in the game, and some might say the best naval unit in the game, now there is less incentive to pick up the aquaculture tech. Let's go over the naval changes to the game. Water ruins now have a chance to give a veteran rammer instead of a bomber. This balances water ruins, since getting a veteran rammer on the water is more in line with getting a veteran swordsman on the land. One of the biggest changes in this patch is that bombers have been nerfed. The bomber attack value is now 3 instead of 4. Bombers are still very strong and difficult to counter with their long distance attack range of 3 as well as a splash damage. Starfish have also been nerfed. Harvesting a starfish now gives 8 stars instead of 10. There's still a nice reward for getting onto the water first, but there's less of that snowball effect for players who happen to get lucky with lots of starfish close by. While it's more of an alternative to getting a navy than actual naval changes, bridges are now cheaper. Bridges cost 5 stars and can be built even if one of the tiles is in the fog. Also, a new feature called Shorelines has been added to shallow water tiles. This is supposed to help players see where there's land to know if they can place bridges or not. Some players have a hard time seeing the light blue color that hugs the land, but if you look carefully, you can see it. You can also select the water tile to highlight it in the bottom and look for the shoreline along the edge of the tile. Next, let's talk about changes on the land. Markets work a bit differently now. Markets give 1 star for each level of a nearby production building. So that's forges, windmills, sawmills. Ports no longer have an impact on market income. So that means if you have a market next to 2 level 4 sawmills, the market will make 8 stars per turn. If you put a market in between a level 2 forge and a level 2 sawmill, the market will make 4 stars per turn. However, market income is capped at level 8, so you cannot make more than 8 stars per turn off a single market. This change to markets helps Yadak, which starts with roads and has quicker access to the trade tech. It also benefits tribes that have a lot of forests, especially Hoodrick. It's easier to get high-level sawmills than other types of production buildings like windmills or forges. However, with the burn forest ability in construction now, we could see some high-level windmills next to markets with Zibasi. The last category of changes in this patch are changes that mainly impact single-player mode. Temples now grow faster. Instead of growing every 3 turns, temples grow every 2 turns. This gets you more points faster. Also, the score multiplier bonus has been reduced for the number of bots you add in the perfection game mode. This means you don't get as many points for playing more bot opponents. Finally, the AI is reportedly improved and smarter. The bots are supposed to be better at picking what units to train and better at improving their cities. Okay, those are all the changes in the recent patch. For a more in-depth discussion of how these changes impact the game, watch our expert analysis video from when all these changes were still part of the beta version of the game. There's a link to the video in the description. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. What do you think about these changes to the game? Let us know in the comments. Join our Discord. A link to the Discord server is in the description. Take care. See you on the next one.